What's up, guys? I'm Dr. Brittany Toole, and when you think about digital products, I want you to think about me. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about how you can create your course for free. Not just a little bit free, but free, free, free. Okay, so I'm excited to have this conversation with you guys. If you've been to any of my teachings, you know that I like to go in detail. Like, I want you to really walk away from this conversation knowing exactly what you need to do in order to have your course created and ready to go. A lot of people, when they hear digital products, I hear a mixed bag of what they're expecting in terms of what a digital product is. And I hope throughout this conversation, not only are you clear about what a digital product is, but also you kind of expand what you have always considered to be a digital product and how it can be profound in your online experience, right? I told a little bit about my story. I think the probably the greatest success I've had, well, one of the ones I would say, is when I released my ebook in 2020. It was entitled Dr. N-Word, Being Black and Overcoming Two Pandemics. And I wrote that book. It was kind of like a think piece slash journal entry. That would be probably the name for it in the literary world. But I created this because I was at a place of frustration. The pandemic had just started. You guys know I work in healthcare, and so it was hit really hard. Also, my career in real estate was hit hard as well. In fact, in the city of Philadelphia, all of the real estate construction sites were halted for at least a month until they figured out more about COVID-19 and the spread of it. And you guys know as well, when the pandemic first began, a lot of people were passing away just from lack of information or just being underinformed. So, as a result, I created this ebook, and I didn't really have real expectations because it had an unusual rollout than my other ebooks that I've planned, right? So I literally, in this space of frustration, sat at my computer, and I was probably there for about 3 or 4 days. The latter 2 days was mainly like editing and, getting the artwork and stuff together. And I created this ebook. I finished it up, and I went on online and I put it in a couple of places. And literally in a couple of days, I was able to sell over 200 copies of the ebook, as well as get a speaking gig at a book club that was out in Missouri. It was it was a really good experience. I got paid for it as well. And so, yeah. And so the possibilities are endless. That, among other really good experiences that I've had with selling digital products, having apparel line, confidentlymeapparel.com. I have so many ebooks, tons of downloads, courses that I've created, etc. And just having that experience is what led me to being a digital product consultant and really coming on here and telling you guys how you can incorporate it into your business, regardless of what it is. And I would have to say, of the digital products that are available, especially among everyday business owner and everyday people, ebooks would probably be number one. And what I see people most curious about, and courses would probably be a close second. Now, courses can be very complex, right? At least some people make them complex. But in my opinion, they can be created very simply and easily, and you'll be able to get an outline in the system of creation that's definitely going to help you after listening to this conversation. But let's just go back to the basics, right? What is a digital product? What is a digital product? A digital product is a product or service that's delivered through a software directly to the customer. And one of the reasons that I love digital products is because, in my opinion, it is the only real way to create passive income, right? It is the only real way to create passive income. And we've talked about some of the digital product options that you have, ebooks and courses. But, I'm just here to tell you, if that is the extent of which you know digital products, there's like a world of more, right? I want to say one of the biggest probably transitions to becoming digital has to be music, right? The fact that we can pay for apps or have apps for free, right? That we can listen to music, whether it's Pandora. For me, I pay for Tidal, but you can also have like Apple Music and other ones. So music is a huge one. Also digital art, right? But let's talk about some of the ones that aren't aren't as popular or not really talked about that often. Memberships and subscriptions, right? You may not look at this as a digital product, but you could easily have a community newsletter, for example, that's only available to members through paid memberships, right? Or subscriptions. It's the same thing. It's just different wording in terms of like your respective industry and your career in terms of what word that they use. But that's good. And it could be a subscription based newsletter, it can be a subscription based site. You can even have, like, let's say, for example, you don't even want to create yourself. Let's say that you just want to have a website that's subscription based. People can pay, $2.99, $3.99, $4.99 just to come on and get business ideas from you, right? That maybe they can capitalize on in their own business. There's so many different ways you can do it. Another really unique one that I love is domains, right? We don't think about domains, but I learned in one of my conversations I was having that, listen, domains be going for the low low. And let me see if I can figure out this website. There was a website that I went to one time, guys, and it lets you know what domains are selling for. And it was a really, really good conversation. Let's see if I can get to it while I'm in the middle of speaking, because I literally have this brief outline in front of me. And I don't want to do too much because otherwise I'm going to lose my place. But let's see if I can get this website right here. And if you guys go to this website, you'll be able to see what domains are selling for. Let's see if I can get to it. Let's see here. Oh, here it goes. Namebio.com. Namebio.com. Guys, go to this website, namebio.com, and let me just check it really quickly. You're going to hear a little click in the background. Let me just make sure this is the right one. So listen, if you go to this website, they're going to be able to show you what what domains are selling for. Okay, and you can go to the option at the top, guys, that says top sales, and you'll be able to see what domains are selling for. I see here voice.com sold for $30 million in May of 2019. The heavy hitter for 2022 looks to be NFTs.com. The letter NFTS.com went for $15 million. So don't look over some of the ones that maybe you aren't as privy to, but could still be profitable to you, right? We have also photography. You can create applications, spreadsheets as well. Many of you guys are really crafty with the spreadsheets. And this is something else that could be a digital product for you as well. Obviously, we have the ones about podcasts, websites. Websites is, sometimes people don't look at websites as being a digital product, but actually it is. And not every digital product has to involve you getting money for it. Sometimes your digital product could be a way of exposure. So when I think about a website, it doesn't have to be something that is like subscription based or that people are paying for in any capacity. Your website can be a digital product that actually gives you exposure, right? And sometimes people create digital products, guys, and it's not for money. It's to build up maybe their buy-in list, right? Or to add extra value to an existing community, or to be an addition maybe to like a talk. You know what I mean? So really, really think outside of the box as it relates to digital products. Creating a course is not difficult. I'm not going to say it's difficult, but I want you to know going into it that there is several different steps and phases that you must go through, right? And we're only going to be talking about the creation process. I'm going to be holding more spaces talking specifically about selling digital products because you guys should know that creating is only half of it, right? It's literally only half of it. Once you create your digital product, you need to be able to sell it, right? And so that's important as well. But let's get into the conversation, guys. We want to talk about today how you can create your course for free. Absolutely free. You can house it in a place for free as well. That does not take any of your money. You'll be able to get 100% of the profits. So let's get into the conversation. The very first thing that you need to have when you are creating your course is an outline. The very first thing you need to have in order to create your course is an outline. Now, I'm talking about an outline, but it needs to be a detailed outline, right? This is not like a few words that just going to throw together. You need to really think about these things. The first part of your outline that's going to be critically important, right, guys? This is really, really important. It's going to be your title. The title of your course is going to be important. The title of your course should include a benefit that your customer and or client is going to experience after taking your course, right? You guys know I like to use examples using coaches a lot because, everybody's a coach nowadays, or consultant of some sort of some magnitude. So I love using, mindset coaches. For examples, right? So let's say you are a mindset coach and you would like to create a course to help individuals transform their mindset to be able to attract abundance, right? To help their business grow, to attract the clients that they want, the ideal clients, paying clients, right? A good title would be Mindset Shift to Millionaire Status. Mindset shift to millionaire status, right? So, what have I done? I've told you what the course is going to be about. I've also given the audience an expected outcome from taking the course. That's important. I've given them an expected outcome from taking the course. So, that's important. When you create your title, please make sure that you have at least one benefit, not a feature, but a benefit to your course. And we're going to talk about this more in detail about the difference between a feature and a benefit shortly, okay? But your title is critically important. It's the reason that people are going to have interest in your title. A title that's too lengthy or too wordy, or a title that doesn't give enough, like you haven't stated a good enough benefit, or you haven't stated the benefit at all. All of those things could be the reason that your course maybe just doesn't attract people immediately, or you're going to have to put more effort into marketing, right? So you don't want to have to do that kind of thing. Just make sure you do it right the first time. That's what I like to teach individuals, so that don't have to double back. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to have to double back and correct something. Okay, so that's important. So the first thing that you need to have with your outline is a title. The second thing that you want to have in your outline is an introduction. This is important as well. But here's a caveat with the introduction to your course is that you want to make sure your introduction is tailored to the title, right? The title of your course, or at least the list of benefits you want people to have, right? So for some of you people who are multi-talented, and you have several, different things that you like to teach people about, it's important that your introduction is tailored to the particular course that you're creating, right? So, for example, you guys know that I work in health, real estate, and I have a couple of different brands online, right? But if I was creating a course, for example, about digital products, I'm not going to harp on the fact that I work in healthcare or in real estate in the introduction. Why? Because none of those things lends me credibility to creating a course about digital products, right? So you want to make sure you do the exact same thing, right? Now, when you're creating your outline, it's important that you be detailed, because in the next portion of this, we're actually going to create the course. And in order for that creation process to go seamlessly and smoothly, you definitely want to make sure that your outline is thorough, right? So, what would be a good introduction if I wanted to create a course about digital products, right? First of all, you need to make sure talk about yourself in a way that makes yourself appealing, right? Sometimes digital products aren't sold because the actual digital product is good. A lot of times, digital products are sold is because the person who has created it has built enough sort of attention to themselves, and a healthy attention, though. When it's a healthy attention and enough. Enthusiasm about what they have going on, that alone is what helps sell it. So make sure your introduction is good, right? And here's another thing I want to say about your introduction before I do an example, is that your introduction could be a part of your selling of the course, right? So many times you're able to put out a snippet, right? A clip of your course. And this is another thing you want to think about in your introduction, how it can be a part of your selling process. So I like to teach people, regardless of what you're doing, think about the end in the beginning. So as it relates to a course, you obviously want to sell, and there's a couple of other things you want to happen, and you want to consider that during your creation process, and particularly the outline, right? So let's get back to it. Let's say I'm doing an introduction for a digital product course. What would I say? So I can start out by saying, hey guys, thank you for taking my course about creating and selling your own digital products. My name is Dr. Brittany Toole. And listen, I remember being in West Philadelphia, working in a personal injury practice, absolutely loving what I was doing, but also feeling like I wanted to use my creativity to my advantage. I created an ebook in 2020 that sold over 200 copies in 2 weeks, and I knew I was onto something, right? Boom, straight to the point. I've told you a couple details about myself. I've told you some successes that I've had with digital products, and boom, I have created